Hi, number nine. Finally, so for this ninth blog, here is the beer guru to you. I'm gonna talk to you about the process of beer. This would be better graphically a little bit, but we're low. We have a low budget. Okay, so we know that beer is made with malted barley, hops, yeast, and water. So what do? So first, you crush your grains. That way, they open up and they take the sugars out. Then you basically mash them out, or do the mashing. What it means is do the mashing. What it means is you put your water, your quantity of water, and your grains in the water. The amount of grains per water, it's how full-bodied or how thick your beer is gonna be in the end. So you basically let them soak in warm water. Different temperatures release different chemicals that we want in our beer. So from proteins to other sugars that can be extracted at certain temperatures. And from that, you get a very sweet, it's called must, like on wine, grape must. So it's basically the sugar of the malted barley or the grains mixed with the water. Then from the mashing, we pass it on to the boil kettle. Then on the same grain that we happen, we add the extra water, because since the grain takes some space on the kettle, we need to add more water. But if we add the water directly to the boil, we would water the beer. So all water has to go through our grains. That is called lauter. And then on the boil kettle, we turn up the temperature until it starts boiling. And once it starts boiling, we add the hops. The hops can be added in 3 different times. If we add it at the beginning of the boil, it will be a bittering hop. If we add it around the middle of the boiling process, it would be a flavor hop. And if we add it at the end, it's aromatic hop, because the acids, the alpha acids that the hop has, the more they boil, the bitter they get. So if you want more aromas, you want technically to boil the less. In the boil, you can also add all most of your adjuncts, like sugars, chilies. Yes, you can add chili to beer. You can add your spices, your basically sugar, spices, some fruit if you want kind of a marmalade kind of flavor. Then after the boil, you whirlpool, so all the solids get to the center of the kettle, and then from that you transfer to the fermenter through a heat exchanger, because you can't add the yeast if the beer is hot. They used to call it the rule of the thumb, because they would put the thumb on the boil liquid, and if it burns them, it would kill the yeast. So they would do this until they could they knew how hot it should be. So then through the heat exchanger, the pre-beer, it's not beer, it's still called must. So it's already cold. You add it to your fermenters, then you pitch in the yeast, and then the fermentation process starts. This could take from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the style of beer. So lagers take more time. I have to do a video about lagers and ales later. Okay, so you have basically 2 styles of beer based on the fermentation. You have ales and you have lagers. So lagers is a German word for saving, so it takes a little bit more time. Ale is a little bit faster. One ferments at a slight higher temperature. It's not that much. And then after the 2 to 4 weeks, then you have to mature the beer, because after the fermentation, it's actually it's called green beer. It's not yet fully completed or fully made. So after another 2 to 4 months, depends on the beer, because some strong beers take a little bit more time. For example, Besletteren that we talked with my good friend from Belgium. Sorry, I forgot your name. They take a little bit more time. So it's a lot of patience. Beer is, that's why I don't like the industrial idea of beer, because beer is one of those beverages that it takes patience, it takes care. And if you do something faster, then you get flavors that you don't necessarily want in your beer. So after, you can either it to drink it on draft, or you could bottle it and send it to a store near you, and then pour it on your glass. And that's basically how beer is made. See you in the next video. I'll be going to Real de Catorce in San Luis Potosí. That's where Hickory, also known as Peyote, is found, and I'm going to do a ceremony, and I'm going to do my 10th vlog from there. So see you there.